Hi everyone, welcome aboard. We'll be starting in a few seconds. And we are live. Hi everyone, once again. Thanks a million for joining our Aragon Community Call. And let's get this started, right? I believe the folks from YouTube, watching us from YouTube, are able to see everything. So I think we are good to go, right? So once again, welcome to the Aragon Community Call. Just to let you know, this event will be recorded and we are also live streaming on YouTube. So if you want to also watch either like from here or there, feel free, that's your call. And so on today's agenda, on today's agenda, we are going to talk about the Aragon Voice demo. So we'll have a demo to present the new platform that we'll be using for voting in the future, and that everyone will be able to as well, and also to present the Vocdoni governance platform. And after that, we'll follow a Q&A with the presenters, which is Ramon Canales, Head of Product at Aragon, and Ferran Reyes, Digital Marketing and Community Lead of Aragon Labs. And also, because I just forgot to introduce a little bit about myself, I'm Isabella. I recently joined the Aragon team as Head of Community, and it has been amazing to just in less than a month, being able to organize this event, to get together with our community, and also to show the amazing things that we've been working over here. So without further ado, would like to invite, first, we actually just had a quick change on the, slightly change on the agenda. So I'd like to invite Ramon Canales to talk a little bit about the Aragon Voice platform. So Ramon, I will stop sharing. And I totally forgot to say, there will be also, like I said, there will be also following a Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can start already asking on the Q&A tab on the right side of your screen if you are on the Bevy platform, or for the people who are on YouTube, join our Discord channel, or Discord server actually, and ask your questions on the events channel. So we'll be checking both platforms and we'll try our best to answer all the questions. And now, finally, let's introduce you all to the Aragon Voice platform. So Ramon, over to you. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thanks a lot, Izzy. Happy to be here presenting this sneak peek of Aragon Voice, our new system that we are pretty soon going to make available for everyone. Again, happy to have you all here with us. Send your questions through chat, send through Discord, send through wherever place you want. We'll have the Q&A in the end. But of course, if we don't get like enough time to reply for everything here, we can follow up on many channels. Hopefully you guys are seeing my screen now. So finally presented to you all Aragon Voice, our new proposal/voting system that runs on top of the Vocdoni structure that Ferran is going to tell you much more about in the next minutes. I really just want to show like the main functionalities that we've been working on, and it's pretty exciting. So here you have our like base landing page of the system. here I'm not connected with my wallet still, so I don't see like tokens I hold, but I do see some top tokens that are within the platform. And what are these top tokens? Basically, the tokens that have more expression in the platform, more proposals that have more activity, let's say. And what is the purpose, sorry, of Aragon Voice? In the end, it's to empower token holders in a permissionless way to create proposals and interact with the community, saying, hey, I really think this DAO or this token should be working in this initiative and things like that. And I'm going to show you a little bit how does this works. So let me first connect my wallet. Now I can already see like the tokens that I have that are within the platform. You can go into a token and see, does it have active proposals running? Does it have like proposals that ended? And you can see the results. And do it also have some upcoming votes for you to already be like tuned in if you want to participate? To start, I'm going to go into, for example, here we have a lot of active things running. If I go into this one, for example, it's loading. I have already voted for this, but I can see there was like the main idea of this proposal with a title and description. And sorry, I should have been a little bit more taken care of, better examples here. But anyway, one proposal can have multiple questions with multiple choices, and a person can vote in all of them at once. This one, as I showed, I already voted. Let's see this one that I didn't vote yet. So will this demo work? Hopefully it will. So am I able to vote? I'm going to say I am, and I'm going to submit my vote now. I need to sign that I'm voting. By the way, the voting runs on a layer 2 that Ferran will explain much more, and it's free, of course, which is the most important part. So I just voted. Vote is successful. Sorry, you cannot see because I am in front of the small toes that appear. But you can see I just voted yes with all the ANT that I have in my wallet. Pretty easy, pretty fast, so everyone can really participate and create proposals. Just to show a little bit of the other things that we can do within the system right now, of course, you can see the tokens that are registered already. You can register new tokens. So let's just register one as an example. Token address, you just insert your token here. It's an existing one, so let's register the maker token. I'm going to confirm the transaction. Wait a little bit. After all, blockchain, you all know how this works. But soon enough, we will get the confirmation that this is registered. I just got, yeah, awesome. Token is registered within the platform. Now I can create proposals for this new token. So let's go and create one. Another proposal. Really cool thing. We have these two possibilities for a proposal with real-time results or encrypted results. What do this mean? Real-time results, pretty simple. Whenever the proposal is running and people can vote, you can see how the voting is going. So let's say 60% is approving some proposal, 40% is not approving. But if you don't want people to be influenced or biased by whatever is already running, we have the encrypted results version where the results will only be available after this proposal comes to an end. So I can add a description. I set the start date for this proposal. So let's put it for like 5 minutes from now or something. And we went like 2 days from now. As I said, you can add multiple questions. So question number 1, I want to add yes, no, or maybe. And question number 2, I will also add, of course, some description for the question, and I can just add as many as I want here. So let's create this proposal. Start date must be 5 minutes from now. Sorry, it took me more time than I expected to create it. Let's add some minutes here. I clearly don't know what time is it. Okay, Now this will work. Sorry, I need to reload the page. I was not connected with my wallet. And I sort of lost everything. But to be fair, this is just a demo, and we need to fix some stuff. It's on beta, but for sure, when this is live, this is not going to happen. So let me just fill any information to show you guys how this works. Any date. Questions? My account, create proposal. Yes. Yeah, just because I'm demoing, it didn't work, but I swear to you guys, this is going to be working in a few days. And this is basically how Aragon Voice will work. Anyone can create proposals, as long as, of course, you are a token holder. Token holders can vote on your proposals. We have the real-time and encrypted versions, and much more things and functionalities are going to come to this system. Really excited to get the community using the solution, and of course, giving us your feedback. And I guess this is it for this sneak peek in Aragon Voice. Really excited to hear your questions in the end. Izzy, back to you.
Thanks a million, Ramon. I love this drill of demos that we never know if something will actually work or not, but having an opportunity to see how Aragon Voice works, and I can say there is already a lot of functionalities that we can use, and that's pretty amazing. So it was amazing work, and thanks to you and also to the team. Cool. So now to a very related topic as well, we're going to introduce the Vocdoni governance platform. So Fran, thanks a million for joining us. Now it's your time. But you're muted.
Yeah, so let me share the screen. Yeah. Okay, so well, I'm Ferran Reyes, responsible of communication in Vocdoni, and basically, as Ramon said, I will explain you Vocdoni project and also the technology behind this all the Aragon Voice and Vocdoni, and all the tools we are building for governance for traditional organizations, but also for DAOs and protocols and all kind of organizations. So basically, we are a project that was founded in 2018 by a team of different people coming from decentralized technologies with a lot of expertise in mesh networks, blockchain, and all kind of projects related with decentralization and cryptography. And since that moment in 2018, we were committed to build a modern, censorship-resistant, flexible, scalable, and anonymous voting system. We had success with that. We already secured votings for a lot of organizations with a aggregated census of more than 300,000 members. And since January 2021, we are part of the Aragon project. So we are a project inside the Aragon ecosystem. That means also all the projects that are being developed in Aragon, as the Aragon Voice, can also take advantage of this technology and these developments we are leading. So basically, the Vocdoni voting protocol. Well, digital voting already exists, but it was a black box until today. Then our team wanted to change that and invent with some of the technologies, existing technologies nowadays, like Ethereum or other Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchains, Tendermint, IPFS, and other cryptographic mechanisms, zero-knowledge proofs. We built a voting system that is censorship resistant. So this is something that we already find in financial, in all the blockchains, practically in all the permissionless blockchains, but not in governance. That is universally verifiable, so we can audit from the code itself, but also the execution of this code itself, all the process of an election or any kind of voting process. And also is flexible. This is because we have a layer 2 blockchain called Vocdoni that allows all kind of configurations when creating a voting process, allowing, for example, from simple choice, but also multiple choice, quadratic voting. Also, we can encrypt the results of the votes until the end of the voting process, or keep it alive, so it's like raising hands in an annual general meeting. So all these configurations can be possible with the Vocdoni voting protocol, that we believe nowadays is the most advanced voting protocol out there. And as I said, it allows to organize voting processes for conventional organizations. That is what I will show you now, but also, as Ramon said, for DAOs and other projects in the blockchain ecosystem, thanks to the ERC20-based censuses that we can create using the proofs. So basically, Vocdoni is also a platform for traditional organizations. As you know, not the society is ready for interacting and both using exclusively blockchain. So, for example, something that like the DAOs, for example, is something super far from the society. And also, handle with wallets is something that is a challenge for most part of the society. And this is why we try to build a tool that is really similar to the tools we are building also in Aragon, like Aragon Voice or the other tools like Aragon Client, Aragon Govern, that will appear soon. But where the users don't need to manage wallets, or the users don't need to create a DAO. And this is because we do all these things on the backend transparently, while maintaining also the trustless infrastructure. This May 17th, we will launch the first MVP that will be focused in simple voting processes like AGMs, annual general meetings, participatory budgets, referendums, or any kind of survey or poll. And after this first version, we will have an incremental development approach. So every N weeks, we will release new features to create this complete set of tools for governance that we envision. Also, besides that, as I said, creating a DAO or creating an organization in Vocdoni, it will have a similar interface. We want or we envision that at some point in the future, organizations will be all DAOs. So any organization, when they will create their own entity, digital entity, it will be a DAO without they even noticing. This is the most important thing, and we are putting the first steps on this goal by creating the Aragon design system, or updating the Aragon design system and using it in all tools, including Vocdoni. Well, this is just a short presentation of the team. This 6-person team was involved in the development of Vocdoni. We made a refactor of our tool, Vocdoni platform, and after 1 month, we have what I will show you now. So let's go to the tool, to the sneak peek, taking account that it might contain bugs and other another kind of glitches. So basically, I will create an entity now. You will see is a wizard process. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, this didn't work. Autofill. Okay, it doesn't work. So I will create an entity. Basically, all this information will reside in IPFS, is the metadata of the entity. Let me put the rest of the information. Sorry. Okay, this entity is already existing. So now I will set a password. This is all happening locally. All this process of creating the entity. Only the metadata will be stored in IPFS. But at this moment, I'm creating a wallet, an account locally. So now I'm sending all this information, the metadata, to the IPFS, and also triggering the smart contract to create the entity. Basically, as you see, is a really simple process of like really similar to the creation of an entity in other kind of platforms like Twitter or Facebook. So now I can create a new proposal. Let me see if the autofill works. No. Okay, it doesn't work. So I will complete this. Now I'm basically filling all the information of a voting process that I'm creating, and all this information will be also stored in IPFS and will be pointed in a specific smart contract that will manage the voting process with all the parameters I'm using. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so now after creating the voting process and also the questions, this one, it will have only one question, I can continue. Then I have to upload the census I want to use. Basically, what I will do now is to, well, I'm uploading a spreadsheet with a specific columns and a specific, some people inside of this census. And I will generate the private keys using the set of these parameters. This means that all of this is happening here locally, and that only the people that knows this information will be able to access to the voting process. This is the first version of the census creation in Vocdoni, but we are planning also to implement new ways of identification, like a CRM with public keys from third parties like users. Also, identification with digital certificates. Oh, sorry, I forgot also to show you the preview of the voting process. as you may see, this is how it will appear. I put also the live stream of the community call. And then, yeah, continue. Now I can set when I want this voting process to start. I can put a specific date or start right away. As you might see, it needs 7 minutes to be ready. This is because we are using a blockchain block 8 to establish the starting and ending date. And also I can say if I want real-time results, so we see the results in live, or we want to encrypt the sense of the vote of each user until the end of the voting process, so the process are revealed after the ending of the voting process. So now I'm creating the voting process. This may last some seconds or minutes, depending on the blockchain. Basically, we are triggering the smart contract with all the information. So the images, the text remain in IPFS as metadata, and also the census that is stored. Sorry, not in this case. The rest of the information, like when it starts, when it ends, and the kind of voting process, if it's live or if it's encrypted until the end, all this information, it's sent to the smart contract, and the smart contract execute to create the voting process. So now it's waiting. Well, I will show you, this may last a little bit. I will show you another voting process I created before. So after the voting process creation, I will just log in with the information. This will unencrypt my private key, so I will be able to vote in this voting process. As you may see, there is all the information I add in the voting process, not this one, but one similar that I created before, with the documentation, with the question and answers. And at the end of the page, I can see the questions, and I can vote against or in favor, and I can submit my vote. This can also last a little bit. Now it's sending the vote basically with my signature, with using my private key, but we are still lacking some of the progress bar and different motions that yeah. So the vote has been registered. Yeah, and yes, and that's all.
Thanks a million, Ferran. It was actually an interesting fact that I can share. It's actually Vocdoni in Esperanto means to give voice. And then so we have the Vocdoni platform, we have Aragon Voice. So you kind of know what we did there, right? So thanks a million, both of you, for the presentations. We already have some questions for the Q&A, and everyone, if you still have questions, if you have more questions, and we have plenty of time, let's say, to answer the questions, I wanted to actually start with one of them. So the two platforms, the core of both platforms is actually voting. And I wanted to ask, are we using same technologies on both Aragon Voice and also the Vocdoni governance platform?
Do you want to take that?
Yeah, so basically we are using the same technology because all the stack of Vocdoni is created only for creating governance processes in a sovereign way. So this means that it has the main blocks needed for creating a process independently, if it's a process in the blockchain for a DAO or for a protocol, or is a process for a centralized or conventional organization. So basically, the voting process, the vote recount is executed in a layer 2 in Vocchain, that is or blockchain, based in Tendermint for vote recount, and the census is where it resides the difference. So basically, in Vocdoni, the census is kind of administrated by the organization, with a set of public keys and a set of private keys. The private keys can be self-hosted by the users or can be generated by the entity. And in the block, when we talk about, for example, Aragon Voice, is the set of token holders at a certain height of the blockchain, what it determines the census of the voting process. So this is the difference, but the rest is the same technology.
Yeah, just maybe to on top of that, in the end, Vocdoni created this like awesome technology for decentralized voting that is like really secure, permissionless, and once you bring more, in the end, how do we really make something that is censorship free, but of course anyone can go and really check the results and see, hey, there's no corruption, there's no anything. On top of that, we are building at this moment like solutions focused on, let's say, traditional companies, which is what Ferran presented, and at the same time, solutions for the crypto/DAO/decentralized blockchain space, which is Aragon Voice. And maybe this also answers Mario questions on the QA now. How does this Vocdoni system compare to the two currently used in the space? In the end, this is it. Like we have a common technology, a common layer 2 underlying this, like both solutions, but we are focusing on our like the end customer, on traditional real world entities and the crypto space, DAOs, etc. Like on top of this, how can we provide really usable and like easy to use, user-friendly solutions for these two words?
There is also another interesting thing about this is that as many dApps and many protocols in Ethereum are moving to scalability solutions like rollups, L2, blah blah. Governance is also something that can happen at mainnet in a way that we can scale, because it will be like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to create a voting process and thousands of dollars to be able to vote. And this is not scalable and it's not democratic. So we are also building this in a term that can scale. At this moment, for example, with the Vocdoni technology, you can handle an election, like a national election of a country like Estonia, Switzerland, or Catalonia without effort, because the network can handle that.
Very interesting, very interesting. Can you explain, like for the non-technical people like me, what's mainnet?
So hopefully everyone by this time knows what blockchain is, and some of the people also know what is Ethereum. Ethereum runs on what we call mainnet. This is like the blockchain that holds everything that happens, and then we have alternative networks which we use to test things, basically without spending any money or anything like that. So mainnet is the actual Ethereum network, which is where, like, for example, Aragon Voice and Vocdoni like work on top of it, because we do have the off-chain part on the layer 2, but in order to make the process like really secure and like non-corruptible, not sure if this is a word, but we use the mainnet, the Ethereum blockchain.
So pretty much the difference between Vocdoni governance platform and Aragon Voice, it's the end customer and the end user rights, because both of them have, let's say, very similar functionalities, and they are like under the same technology as well, right?
Yes, exactly.
Very nice, very nice. Ferran, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, great. So we actually have one question from our Discord, and I have like another screen here, so we might be able to see me look into another direction. So is Aragon Voice for Aragon V2 DAO proposals or for community DAOs? And is there only for consensus to create votes or any token holder?
Awesome. The idea and the mission that we have in Aragon is, in the end, to empower people to express their voices. So we are creating a solution that is really permissionless. As long as you are a token holder, you can create proposals, you can vote on proposals. Of course, it depends on how, let's take as an example, a protocol DAO. It depends if the protocol DAO actually wants to hear their token holders or not. but we are like giving the tool for the community to organize itself and to say, hey, we are here, we really have the power to propose whatever we think is important and see if other people agrees or not with this idea. But yeah, the main concept is, hey, anyone can go there and create things. But of course, there is the not the council, but yeah, the DAO members, the DAO owners, or whatever that needs to agree or not with that, for sure.
I get it. So it's
sorry, but we do hope that in the end, since we are talking about decentralization and DAOs are decentralized organizations, that people actually like start to use this kind of solution, because it's about the concept is there, that we just give anyone the power to do this.
So it's not only, so a follow-up question to this, not only for ANT holders, but actually for the Aragon protocol itself.
It's for any, like within the Aragon association and the Aragon protocol, for sure we want ANT holders to use the solution, and we want the ANT community to use Aragon Voice for whatever we want to, whatever the community and the token holders wants Aragon to do in the future. We are absolutely going to use that. We have, we are going to release pretty soon sort of the roadmap for Aragon Association, and part of that is creating this flow where people can use Aragon Voice to give us ideas and to propose what should Aragon be working on. And this, like, in the end, it's a pretty good example of how do we want the community to use Aragon Voice. Yeah.
Sense. I have a question here from Mario. How does the Vocdoni voting system compare to the tools that are already currently used in the DAO space? For example, Snapshot, which is off-chain, and the network DApp specific voting UIs for on-chain voting.
And network DApp specific voting UIs for on-chain voting. Okay, so I guess the last question is what I said. On-chain voting is super expensive, and this it doesn't allow to, for example, preserve the anonymity of the vote and a lot of things like I know it's super difficult to do quadratic voting in mainnet, for example, no, and expensive, of course. This is why the difference with on-chain voting. And regarding Snapshot, we are a combination of on-chain and on-chain voting with off-chain, let's say, or side-chain recount of votes that can be also be audited. This is the main difference. Also, it's important to notice that with Vocdoni, besides being universally verifiable, so you can see the code and you can see how it's executed in the Ethereum mainnet or in XDAI chain mainnet. You can be sure that all the information that is happening there, there, and all the parameters that are executed are the same for everyone, and all the process is done with with guarantees, and also the vote recount is transparent, and anyone in fact can check that. Also, there is the layer 2 blockchain that allows, also in the smart contract, using the layer 2 blockchain, you can set any kind of voting process, like quadratic voting, as I said, simple choice, ranked choice, infinite combination parameters of voting processes that it will be super difficult to do with, for example, tools like Snapshot or, of course, in mainnet. So basically, it's flexibility, the censorship resistance, the transparency of all the process, and the flexibility of doing any kind of voting process. These are the mainly differences. And also, it's more secure to execute decisions on, for example, a smart contract of a DAO or a smart contract of a token, if you are using a deterministic voting solution, no, like Vocdoni, instead of using solutions that doesn't have all the guarantees for digital voting. And this applies, of course, if you are managing a lot of funds, no, as many DAOs are doing.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I have a question here from Guillaume. So I'm actually, I see that someone already replied, but since like for the folks who are on YouTube, we'll be able also like to get an answer. Any plans to be able to launch a vote or entity which with the census based on SAML/SSO? So that users can sign in using traditional authentication systems used in companies, for example?
Yeah, we already did that for the elections of Catalonia. We did a survey. It was not, of course, the elections, like the general elections, but it was a survey that was done in parallel during the Catalan elections, and people was able to authenticate themselves using their digital certificates, so the state issued digital certificates. And their identity was anonymized using a cryptographic mechanism called blind signatures. So people were able to vote anonymously in this survey using this kind of digital certificates. And this technology is already developed, and we can integrate it in future releases of Vocdoni. So any kind of organization like companies, governments, city councils will be able to use this kind of authentication for their users. In fact, we are not applying this. We are not using this system. In the case I will tell you now, but in June we will organize a referendum in a Catalan city council, and it will be possible to use digital certificates, so people can vote with these digital certificates. But the problem here is that the digital certificates are not widely spread in the society. So this is also one step that has to be done before by the governments to promote this kind of identification. But this is only one of the ways we can authenticate people. With central authorities, we can identify or let people authenticate with different kind of systems, like, for example, SSI wallets, no, like self-sovereign identity wallets, or whatever we imagine.
Interesting. I think like the more we can like create this bridge between the mainstream kinds of authentication or assigning to actually like to put in a process, that could be even more widespread the acceptance of the platform itself. Really cool. I actually have a question to Ramon. Will votes on Aragon Voice be binding or non-binding?
Well pointed. Well, it also depends on what exactly does this question means with binding. But we will have two types of proposal creation on Aragon Voice. The first one, which we call the binding proposal, which is the first thing that goes live, that goes to the mainnet, which means it's more secure, let's say, because both the proposal and the results will be in the blockchain and can be audited by anyone. And what we call signaling proposals, which will be fully off-chain, so like zero costs on that. But of course, it depends on how does the proposal creator or proposal owner, let's say, cares about decentralizations, let's say, if it is less costs. Anyway, we will have both for sure. And maybe also, I see some questions on-chain execution, like on-chain governance, etc. The idea is that the Aragon Voice, it's also integrated with V2 DAOs, which means that you can have your proposals running in this layer 2 voting system, and the outcomes of this is used for on-chain execution. This is in our roadmap, and for sure, it's something that we are really, really excited to deliver at some point.
So actually, this already explained and this replied Stephanie's question on the on-chain execution with delayed execution, right? Cool. So a question to you, Ferran. Can you talk more about Vocchain? Is that run or managed by Vocdoni?
Yeah, I think it will be better if we give rights to talk to Pau, that he's the CTO at Vocdoni.
Sure. So while I'm like trying like to put like Paul like in the in this conversation, there's actually a question to Ramon, and can you?
Fatma, yeah.
Your own tokens on. It's actually can we control our own tokens in Vocdoni in a sense that controlling if you have that token, can you vote it?
Yeah, just so answering this question, we have the Vocdoni solution for traditional corporations and Aragon Voice. On Aragon Voice, this is like the base concept. If you have any token and any ERC20 token for now, but we are going to support more types of token in the future, you can create proposals, you can vote on proposals for that token. So it's really about giving power to anyone that is a token holder of any of those tokens to be able to do whatever they want on Aragon Voice. On the Vocdoni side, as Ferran was mentioning, it's more on these traditional corporations. You can create your census. We were just talking about different kinds of authentication as well. So you could create a census based on like Google authentication or something like that. But then it's not really about tokens. But we also envision in the future that this starts to become really blurry. So an organization, a company can have a digital membership that is a token, but the organization does not even need to know that this is a token on blockchain, and people can use this token to vote. They will also maybe don't even know this is a token that they are using to vote. So yeah, we really we envision this future that we are using this technology in like our day-to-day activities in a scalable way that most regular people that don't know what blockchain is are interacting with this on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Hope this was your question, Fatma. I'm not sure it was. Isa, you are on mute.
I was muted.
The most speaked sentence of 2020 and already 2021 for sure.
That's true. I don't seem to be able to add Paul on the conversation. So Paul, if you actually could write the reply regarding Vocchain on the chat, that would be nice, and we'll make sure to also pass on Discord or reading here, so the people on YouTube are also like able to get the answer. Like, sorry for this. I actually have a question that's related. So Ramon, you mentioned about the product roadmap, like for Aragon. Any idea on when we're going like to have this release, what we could expect? Can we have another sneak peek, or shall we wait like for another community call for that? I'm very
No, absolutely. We are going to wait for another community call. But what I can tell, the overall idea of this product roadmap, of the Aragon roadmap, is to first be really transparent with the community on what we are working and what we are planning to work. And even more important than only like being transparent to what we are doing is to make it clear, it's to give the possibility for the community to collaborate to that and say, I think you should be working on that. We think this is more important. We are using voice to vote on like what are the main pain points or main problems that the community is facing. And especially also make it really easy for anyone to collaborate as well, saying, hey, this is like a big problem that we are facing right now. Apparently everyone agrees, and we want to collaborate and work on that. We are going to create some like flows for anyone to be able to say, hey, I want to solve this problem and work on it. But yeah, for the next community call, we will have something way more clear for everyone to see.
Okay, so like for everyone, you have like to watch out the space and come to the next community call to learn more about it. Also, last question, we're almost running out of time. I wanted to ask, like, when can we expect as well? No, I'm asking a lot of like, when can we have it kind of questions, but regarding what we could have on Aragon V2, the Aragon Govern, and how this could be somehow connected with Aragon Voice.
Yeah, this, as I mentioned, this is fully on, like, first, this is a big priority for us to release V2 and the integration with voice as well. As soon as we have a first version of V2, we are going to start working with this integration. When it comes to dates, unfortunately, I don't have a specific date. I swear it's within the next 4 years. So like maybe even 3 or 2. No, just kidding. It's like we are working right now to make this available as soon as possible. I do expect that by before the end of the quarter, we have a fully functional, full flow of V2 that anyone can try it out and anyone can start using. So soon, we swear it's soon, and we are working. This is a huge priority for us.
Amazing. I'm so like looking forward to actually like start, and like I actually already had like a sneak peek also like on the Aragon like looks like, but I cannot wait to show this to the community. I actually have one last question from Fatma. How do we integrate Vocdoni into an application?
Yeah, so we are already now in the second version of the infrastructure and the protocol. So we have a way to access to the old infrastructure, of course, that is using an API. But now all documentation is being refactored. So in the coming days, we'll have all the documentation updated for you to be able to integrate both the voting stack to your applications. So keep tuned for Twitter. So we will share for sure the link to the new documentation for the API.
And by the way, maybe answering part of the question on like is Vocchain only like on Vocdoni's how can I say, like Vocdoni owns Vocchain. Vocdoni created Vocchain, but the idea is that just like the blockchain, it can be run across like multiple nodes to really make this decentralized and like eager and excited to see people wanting to run Vocchain nodes as well. If anyone wants, just please get in touch with us. Feel free to contact. We would love to get more people into this project as well.
In fact, Vocchain already in the Vocchain already there are several, not a lot, but several nodes that are different from Vocdoni, like the IDOSCAT Foundation, that is a public foundation of the Catalan government, and also some universities and so on. And we are also we have a roadmap for a second version of this this protocol. So for a third version, in fact. That will make all the stack more permissionless, let's say, and more with incentivation for nodes and so on. So it will increase also their decentralization.
Cool. And I must say that like 1 hour passed by like so fast. Thanks a million. We could talk about like definitely we could talk about Vocdoni and Aragon Voice for hours, at least I could. But just like to finish up, like thanks a million, Ramon and Ferran. Just a few more closing notes, and let me share my screen once again. It's there. So would love like to keep this conversation going. I believe we addressed all the questions, but if you still have any other questions regarding Aragon Voice or Vocdoni governance platform, feel free to join our Discord channel. I actually already added the links there, and we'll definitely be more than happy to answer. We already have, so like for the people who are looking forward to get to know more about the platforms, when can we test it out, and also to the roadmap, please definitely join us on the next community call. Not sure if we'll be able like to share more updates on that on this by them, but we'll be definitely adding more things on the demos, on the things that we've been creating here, and they are going to also would love to have the community involved on that as well. So I will put on the channel the general channel on the for the people who are on the Bevy platform, and I'll add on the on the Discord channel, the events Discord channel soon, a survey, like just to hear your ideas, how did you like the event and this kind of things, because we would love to bring like even more insight, and again, like to have our community together and to build with us the amazing things that we've been doing here. So thanks a million, everyone. I hope to see you next month. We already have a date set for June the 2nd. But we'll definitely sharing more details as we get like close to the date. So once again, thank you, Ferran and Ramon, and I hope to see you, all of you, next month or anytime soon.
Thank you as well, Izzy, for hosting this, and thanks everyone for participating. It was really, really cool, and hope to see you next month.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.